Hey, how's everybody doing? My name is Coupe and I am back, and I'm going to give you a quick little tutorial on how to record with Voicemeeter and record multi-layered tracks in Adobe Audition, as well as some editing in Premiere Pro. So this is a program here that I did a quick tutorial on, and I'll put the link in the description to go check out the other ones. You're going to want to go to this website and watch the video, and then you'll figure out how to install it and kind of get the basics all set up. But I definitely have to recommend that you donate, because you'll get two additional optical virtual cables. You'll get 3 instead of 1, and just support the cause. Okay, so first thing, we've already got this set up, and if you watch the other video you can figure out how to get this set up and what goes where as far as like these outputs for A1, A2, and A3, and you can have those set up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to show you guys how to get this all linked up with Adobe Audition. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up Adobe Audition. Once you have Adobe Audition opened up, you're going to want to go into your edit, your preferences, and go into audio hardware. You're going to want to take this off of MME and set it to ASIO, and then you're going to want to also set it to virtual meter ASIO. Okay, now you can try the other ones. I messed around with it for the last day or so to try and get it to work, and this is the one that I found that works the easiest and it works correctly, so I would recommend just doing so. Don't need to have this checked, and press OK. So now that your audio is set up properly, then you want to go into a new. Now if you want to record just a basic audio file and you want to start recording, to get it so that it is picked up by your microphone, you need to have B1 selected, and B1 will start recording. B1 is now picking up my mic, my headset mic. It's picking up my headset mic, and if I have B1 selected on this, it will pick up my mic that I'm using to talk to you guys right now. And then you can go through and, once you've done recording, you can go through and edit it. And just as a quick little preference, some people don't know how to get this up, because this really helps for noise cancellation, is you just click this little button here, the one with the little flames on it, and then it brings this up, and if there's noise in the background and you want to edit that out, that's how you can see the noise, and you can. But anyway, so this is just for a basic recording. You want to have it set up on to B1, right? B1 will set it up so that you can record just basic recording by yourself for regular commentary after it's gone through this Voicemeeter. And if you want to go to multi-layer track, which is the whole purpose of this video, so you go File, New, Multi-layer Track, Session, and you can change where you want the location to go. So we can create a new folder. So we're going to do so, and we're going to have it go to our, let's just go straight back to, we'll have it go into our computer, and we'll have it go into our E drive, and you should have a Voicemeeter folder right there. So we're going to set this up and have it go right into Voicemeeter folder, which I've created. So select that, and then you can change the name of it to be multi-track, and then click OK. So now you're going to have, these are your separate tracks. There's no inputs selected yet, it's just set up to the default. So if we hit this, it will recognize just the B1. So if we take that off, it will turn off. So what we want to do is for our separate multi-layer tracks, so what we have here is our first layer track, which I've set to my Astro mic, which is this one here, and my Nessie mic, which is the one that you're listening to right now, and my communications default, which is basically like Skype and TeamSpeak or any of those. If you watch my previous video, I'll show you how to set this up so that it will go through there, and then after that go through A1, which you have selected to go to your headset. So you'll be able to hear TeamSpeak, and TeamSpeak will be going through this program. So now that you have your A1 or your audio in 1, audio in 2, and audio in 3, to select those different ones, you want to go to the default stereo, like your input, go to mono. Now if you go to mono 1 or mono 2, that will be your B1 track. And if you turn this off and go B2, it doesn't recognize it, but you can see up here that it's recognizing it. You can just do that, but then I got to hear myself, and I don't want to hear myself. So that's how you set up for it to just do the B1 track, which is VO1, and it's also VO2. It's set up so that you can actually go into stereo and have the stereo for the two different ones. But what you want to do to get your multi-layer track, now for Voicemeeter, it set out 8 different options, and the only way to get that set up is you need to have your virtual B1 and B2 set on composite. Otherwise it won't set up multi-layer tracks, and then you won't be able to record each one separately. It'll all be mashed together, and then you won't really be able to edit it. So make sure that you have them set on composite, both of them, and you can actually set up all 5 of these masters on composite, and then it'll probably end up like working out a lot better for you. But for the basics, so under mono, 3M is this one, and then you have your, if you want to set up like a different microphone, or you want to record both microphones just in case one works better for the entire recording, you can set up your separate microphone for 4M. So that's, and then to be able to see what you're doing, to see if it's picking up properly, you just hit ready to record. And then if you want to set up for the third one, which is my TeamSpeak communication, that one is V4 number 5 slot, basically. So if I press on my Skype, so now it's able to pick up any sounds, and if we click on our little Skype notification here, it's picking it up in Voicemeeter, and it's also picking up in Adobe Audition. So you have your 3 separate lines, your 3 separate tracks that you're going to be recording to, and once you actually start recording, so we're going to do so now. So we have my Astro A40 headset on the top, which I'm going to now mute so you can't hear anything through that. I have my regular microphone, my Nessie, which you are hearing, and it's recording on line 2. And then if we went into Skype and clicked this, it would record that on a separate track. So now that we've had that recorded, where does it save to? That's one of the questions that you're going to want to know. And the other thing is that the playback within the system, because in your preferences and your settings you chose the Voicemeeter vertical audio, then the playback within this isn't going to go to your default playback. It'll go to your master, but your master is now a part of this here. This is your master. So if we went to playback and hit play, the only way to have this working is to make sure that this is selected to go to your headset, which is my A1. If you don't have this selected, you won't be able to hear it. So you want to make sure that that's set up so that you can hear it through your headset. Okay, so that's that. This is a multi-layer track that we've now recorded through Voicemeeter and Adobe Audition. And you're going to want to know, where does it save to? It saves to wherever you set up the folder. So you're going to want to go to wherever you set up the folder. I set mine up in E drive. I set mine up in Voicemeeter folder, and it's going to set up a multi-layer track folder. Inside the folder is going to be, these are things that the Adobe Auditions that you can open up in Adobe Audition if you want to edit it later. These are the 3 separate actual WAV files that it exported out. Once you start recording and stop recording, it'll automatically set up 3 new files. Now because they're on track 1, track 2, and track 3, it's called track 1, track 2, track 3. If you stop recording and start recording again, it will set up a separate file for track 1, track 2, and track 3. So let's just give this another test here. So now it's recording my microphone, recording both microphones, recording Skype. And if we hit stop, we'll notice that in the folder it will have set up 3 new ones. So there's track 1, the first one, track 2, track 1, the second one, right? Track 2, the first one, track 2. So you're gonna have to be able to figure out which one it matches up. Basically, it's all the 001s are all gonna match up, and the 002s are all gonna match up. So once you've got these all file and saved, if this is a long gameplay that you've got and you've been recording the whole time and you got them all saved up, to put them into their proper to import them into Premiere Pro for actual editing, say you got some gameplay or whatever that you're recorded along with it. So you're going to want to open up Premiere Pro from scratch. I'm opening it from scratch so I can show you how, like, if you wanted to start up a new one. So let's do a new one, and you're going to want to browse and find out where you stored all your other files so you can keep everything organized together. I stored them all in Voicemeeter, and I can select that folder and create a new one and change the project name to VM Test. And now that you've selected that, you can want to start your first sequence. So we're going to go just test. And I always prefer to go with 1080p 60 frames a second. Allows you to edit a lot better, and if you want to export in 60 frames a second, it's really good. So I recommend AVCHD 1080p 60 frames a second. So you have your project ready to go, and to import those audio files, you double click here, or you can just go File, Import, and you want to go into the multi-track section. Now you can do one of two things. You can either click this and import the entire folder, or if you already know what exactly is it that you want, you can just hold Control on all these ones, and that will give you all of those. However, I would like to import the entire folder so I can show you what I did both times. So we're going to import the entire folder, and it's going to say that the PKF files are not importable because they're not Adobe Premiere Pro project files. We just wanted the WAV files, so it's saying those aren't importable. So now that we have all of these, we can actually bring them all over to our timeline, and we're going to set them up on their own. So track 1, track 2, and track 3. So these two are track 2, and these two are track 3. Now this is also if you wanted to hear them all at the same time. So this is how the recording went, and if you could hit play,
so we're going to do so now. So we have
the
Astro A40 headset on the top, which I'm going to now mute.
And then you can edit them there. If there's sound in the background, you can go back into Adobe Premiere Pro, open up the file. So say one of these, you know which one has the bad audio, you can just right click and you can open with Adobe Audition and go through and get rid of noise cancellation or whatnot. I'm not going to show you that because that was not the purpose of this video. So now I have showed you how to record multi-layer tracks using Voicemeeter and Adobe Audition, and basically how to get it kind of set up for Premiere Pro. And you're going to want to bring your gameplay and have them all set up. Hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. And if you want to know how to set up Voicemeeter, go check out my other video, and you can figure out how to get it all set up so that you can just do the basics, or you can start getting into more extreme things. So I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Lex Coupe saying rate, comment, subscribe. Do juice, good douche. How's everybody doing? My name's Lex Coupe and I am back, and I'm going to try and give you guys a quick tutorial on Voicemeeter Banana as well as virtual optical cables by this company here, VB Audio Software.